Creating the perfect show is no simple feat. You would need incredible writers, an interesting plot, and fun characters that entice you to continue to watch. Of course, no TV show can accomplish this, but many get close. Shows like Teen Titans, SpongeBob, and Steven Universe and others, well, others don't. But I want to talk about not the perfect show, but what I think is the greatest first episode, and that is Futurama. Futurama is a 1999 show created by Matt Groening that spanned 7 seasons, received 3 Emmys, and had over 130 guest stars. The comedy is more subtle than in The Simpsons, another show by Matt Groening, which makes it a little bit more fun to watch. Other than watching Family Guy where there are like 15 cutaways every 9 seconds. So, how's this video gonna work? Well, I'm gonna briefly go over this first episode, talk about it for a bit, and I'm gonna break down how it works so well. So, without further ado, the episode starts with a title card stating it's December 31st, 1999, New Year's Eve. A brief narration plays from our protagonist Fry, voiced by Billy West. He's also done Bugs Bunny in Space Jam, Stimpy in the Red and Stimpy Show, and most recently, an M&M. No, seriously, he voiced an M&M.
Alright, only 13 more hours to go.
Fry is then given an order by his boss, Mr. Panucci, to deliver a pizza. Fry rides around on his bike to a strange building. Upon entering, he is greeted by test tubes, but no one is there. After realizing it was a prank, he eats the pizza for himself, but accidentally stumbles back into one of the test tubes. A quick side note that I thought was pretty cool is the very subtle shadow we see before Fry falls back. The normal viewer might just shrug this off as the desk or a leg, but we eventually learn this is actually Leela's pet Lord Nibbler, who, in the Season 4 episode The Why of Fry, in which Nibbler travels back in time to prevent Fry from being cryogenically frozen. It really just goes to show how much the writers planned ahead, and that attention to detail is something I really appreciate in a show like this. Anyway, Fry is sent forward 1,000 years and is greeted by our second main character, Leela, voiced by Katie Sagal. Leela tells Fry he has one living relative, Hubert Farnsworth. After being told he's going to become a delivery boy, he runs away and explores the future, and it really shows us a sense of the world we're going to see more of in the coming seasons. He finds a phone booth and meets our third and final main character, Bender. In a near escape, they leave the suicide booth. Leela is tasked with the job to track down Fry, and the episode now focuses on Bender and Fry running away from Leela so he doesn't become a delivery boy. With some motivation from Fry, Bender helps them escape a museum and into an underground wasteland. It is here we learn it was actually New York, and we get flashbacks to Fry's past, like where he took his girlfriend previously seen on a date. Leela catches up to them, and they join forces realizing how alone they both are. In a final attempt at hope, they turn to their last option, Fry's aforementioned relative, Farnsworth. The police catch up to them, only for them to escape in his spaceship. Jobless, they turn to Farnsworth for an occupation. It is here they assemble a crew that delivers packages for planets and such. This is where the episode finishes off. Now comes the analysis bit, where I tell you how the video is going to work and whatever. Basically, I'll just break up these 3 parts to explain why the video is so great. These parts are characters, comedy, and that magic rule I can't stop talking about, leaving room for discovery. As I said in my review of Studio Ghibli, characters are essential to building a world and setting up future plot, and by golly, Fry, Leela, and Bender are perfect for that role. Late in the episode, Fry and Leela's weird love line begins to start. This can set up future jokes and is enforced by the fact that Fry's hair color, orange, and Leela's purple, contrast. I mean, think about it. In a future society where robots, aliens, and humans roam free, what kind of characters do you need to enforce this ideal? Well, a robot, a human, and an alien, of course. And hold the bus, Uwe Boll. Why did I write Uwe Boll? No one's gonna get that reference. He's such a... And hold the bus, Uwe Boll. What 3 characters are we given? A robot, a human, and an alien. This triangle of characters is titular for world building. Uwe Boll, no one's gonna get that reference. Between The Simpsons and Futurama, which one do you think is better? I'll never know what you said, but I think the main difference between these two shows is their comedy. While Simpsons have more literal, straightforward jokes that parody modern-day America and political figures that are ruining the show, but that's for another episode, Futurama requires more attention to landmarks. For example, a typical Futurama joke would be quips on a sign that genuinely give me a funny ha-ha, whereas a Simpsons joke could cut away or speak directly from a character's mouth.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really...
And that sort of idea makes sense, although it feels more like the writers of The Simpsons couldn't integrate a joke properly, so they just very poorly shoved it in dialogue. And yeah, Simpsons have jokes like Futurama, where signs have lines like that, but the problem is that Matt Groening was parodying a typical American family at the time, so when episodes would come out, jokes on a billboard or sign are more often than not a reference that make fun of typical events, which really age like milk when you rewatch them today. But that's why Futurama comes in. It doesn't have to worry about staying topical, because it's literally set in a time that doesn't exist yet. Take this clip from the first episode, for example. In it, Leela calls the police and we quickly pan out to the police saying that they'll be there in 5 minutes. It's a quick funny joke that genuinely caught me off guard the first time I watched it. But if the same thing happened in The Simpsons, it would probably be awfully stretched out and reference some terrible Netflix original sponsor, or probably go something like this.
Chief Wiggum, Mommy is going to kill my entire family.
Okay, let me just watch this episode of 13 Reasons Why featuring the future US president that people will think we predicted.
"20th Century Fox, hire me." Like I said last time, I'll be bringing up this rule a lot, as I think it's an easier way of summarizing world building, and it wraps up my point fairly easily. So, how does Futurama leave room for discovery? Well, the show tells us this very early on in a futuristic setting. The implication of this means so much room to fill important characters. Another aspect is that our 3 main characters work at a delivery service. This sets up the possibility to travel through planets or universes, leaving room for discovery. Almost every episode of this plot is set on a distant world, sometimes even setting up arcs like Lord Nibbler's weird side plots. It's a great idea that is executed perfectly, which is one of Futurama's many great elements. We finished the video! Sick. Hope you guys now understand why Futurama has the greatest first episode. I won't lie, I sort of rushed this video because I wasn't too passionate about it, but I really wanted to cover a topic like this. Get ready for some more unique content that I can confirm you haven't heard before, trust me. It's gonna be pretty cool.